Hey guys, what's up? This is Ease. Now, the rents are out. I was going to do this video yesterday, so apologies to everyone who was expecting a video yesterday, but it was the Dilf's birthday, so you can blame it on the old man. But yeah, this video is going to be, I'm going to be talking about how to assassinate someone on Shaco, so the enemy carries. How do we actually go about doing it? I often tell people like the 10, 20, 30 seconds beforehand, before you actually nuke someone, are the most important. Because normally what people do when they just watch Shaco players and they'll see someone, you know, one shot of ADC or some shit, they'll be like, wow, Shaco's so OP, fucking Duskblade needs to be nerfed, shit like this. But they won't actually, like, ask themselves, how did he put himself in a position to one-shot him? You know, like, why did he go why was he actually in that position in the first place? What did he think about? Is it, like, a certain time in the game or whatever? So I'll be discussing all these things, which I think are important when you're trying to assassinate one of the enemy carries. And yeah, that will be the video for today, guys. So I hope you enjoyed. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alright, enjoy the video. Alright guys, so the most important thing is who we target here. Who are we going to be focusing? And normally it's the enemy mid laner or the enemy AD carry. Now, also you can go for their jungle and support, but in most cases it will always be the mid laner or the ADC, depending on what they farm. Now, I set up a scenario here where my team has 2 mid turrets. Never happens. No, legit though. 2 mid turrets. We've got the outer tier turret bot and the outer tier turret top lane. So this is essentially for me is the mid game. And when mid game hits, which for me is like when all the outer tier turrets are done and the lanes kind of free up, they become a bit more elongated. Like before, obviously you can't try and nuke a carry when he's coming back to lane down here when this turret's up because you're just going to die. You could, but that's fucking like, you know, one in 1,000 games. So when these lanes kind of open up and it becomes easier or more accessible to get in more advantageous spots. So for example, if you're trying to one-shot an enemy carry when this turret's up, there's no way you come in here and do it. Normally what you'll have to do is wait in this bush and then you queue over and try and get onto them. But now because we have more space to work with, we can get in nice positions here where we can queue through, and where they're farming this bot side, we can come here and get them. So when their turrets start to fall is when you should be looking to do this type of thing, especially when we have Duskblade. Duskblade is our major power spike on Shaco, so getting that first is essential in my opinion, and when we get that we can look for people. Alright guys, so we talked about who and we talked about when. Now it's time to talk about where. This is where it gets a bit red hot. Alright, so say we're in a game, right? I've had to change it up, mate. I'm gonna put a clip on of me fucking destroying these turrets because I got kicked out of the game for being AFK. Alright. So let's just say that their mid laner is staying mid and their bot lane is staying bot. Now when their turrets go down, normally what will happen is their support will start to roam around the map, get some wards in, maybe their blue side or, you know, maybe even here, if they're doing well or whatever, or if they want to fight or some shit. But what we want to be focusing on is ganking them through lane. So what I mean by that is, normally all of this shit here, all of the major choke points will be warded in a game, right? Maybe they have a ward in there, maybe they have a ward in here. So you kind of, if you're waiting to kill their mid laner, let's, where's the dummy, mate? Spawn enemy dummy, Shift B, I knew it was that. So let's say that he's there, and we've got a creep wave right here in front of him, and he's CSing that creep wave. If he has a ward in here, this is a very, very, you know, obvious place to gank him from, or to try kill him from. He will see us queue from this area. So what I try and do is, if I can, is to gank through the lane as often as I can. Because normally, like this far up, especially when they have their outer turrets down, won't be warded. Sometimes, smart players will do this. Mid laners, even supports, will put a ward in the middle of the lane so you can see where the enemy mid laner, jungler, support, or whoever runs through mid is pathing. So, what I tend to do, if that was a enemy, and our creep wave is right in front of him here, so remember he's around in this area, I would try and queue from back in the lane, just a little bit. So when we queue through, he obviously doesn't know, we put a box behind him and then we're there. Alright? So same in bot lane. Say they have, let's spawn that bad boy there, let's have a look, where is he? There he is. So say their AD carry is farming a creep wave around here, I'll put a few wards down, that's our creep wave. Now, this bush here will probably be warded, yeah? In most scenarios. So if we're going to try and get onto this guy, we have to outsmart him, mate, in a way. So it's not just about going on them and blowing them up. It's about this like 20-30 seconds beforehand where we think maybe we like do red buff, and then I'm thinking, alright, so where am I actually going to gank this guy from? Where is their support at? Maybe he's warding in this area, we have no vision here. Maybe he's putting a ward in here, so if I try and, you know, fucking come up here and round, it's very, very likely that that shit is warded, and their AD carry, after seeing me via their wards, will just back off and I miss an opportunity for a kill. So ganking through lane, especially bot lane here, like bot lane isn't rarely fucking warded, like, you know, 1% chance this shit is warded right here. Mid lane, like, these wards are more common, but still, it's pretty rare. So if I were you guys, just in case that shit is warded there, I would hug the right side here, and when we get close enough that we have enough, you know, duration and stealth to get onto them, then we can Q and then we do our combo or whatever. So that's my biggest tip anyway for getting in these positions. Is is killing them or queuing them from a spot that is probably not warded and probably out of vision. Because if you get seen, then it's not going to happen, right? So the key is to be stealthed even when you aren't stealthed, if that makes sense. Be smart, be fucking sneaky, and we ain't talking me, so some of you guys will like that. So, yes. Q from lanes is probably one of the most effective ways to execute this strategy when we're talking about where to do it from. Alright? So now we're going to get into the interesting shit, the what, or the how. How do we actually do the combo? Like, what combo do we use here? So there are a couple of combos you can use. Now, for me, they're always the same, to be honest. Because I always go the same items, I don't need to mix anything up. So, say this is here, let's just put 2 more wards down. So they're farming a creep wave here, and say I'm hugging this right side. The one thing we want to try and focus on is if they're isolated, that means one combo. Okay, so it means that we're going to use our ultimate as well to try and just blow them up instantly. Alright? If they have someone there with them, we can still do the R combo, but it's a bit riskier if we get caught out. So, if this chap here, the enemy ADC, is on his own, what we do, we just Q around, we try and get behind him, we press R, and as soon as we press R, we're team-adding and E-ing, and Electrocute will proc and he'll die 100%. The best thing about our clone here is that it procs Duskblade. So our clone here is really key. Now, unfortunately, I don't have bloody the cooldown thing on thing. But that is the strategy for blowing up someone if they're isolated. So if this is a mid laner, if this is a bot laner, even later in the game, this is just so fucking ideal. If you guys don't have this combo down pat, then then in certain situations, you're not going to be able to kill them. Alright, that's just fact. So if they're on their own, you Q past them. You want to try and get behind them here, because when you're your ultimate, that shit is RNG. Yeah, so it's all luck. So you guys have probably seen the clips where, like, Chacos will R over this wall. It's all fucking luck. It's no skill involved at all. Alright? So when you are here, your R, like in some occasions it's happened to me, like, you'll be here and your R will come all the way down here. Not all the way down here, but you know what I mean. Something to that extent. And you're like, what the fuck? You know, I've just wasted my R and their ADC's seen it, you know, or been quick enough on the old reactions that they've V'd away or flashed out and, you know, they're fine. So I've missed an opportunity there. So always try and get in behind them, probably around this area here. Of course, it's harder when your Q is has a shorter duration. The Q, try and get behind them, press R, and then just your normal auto Tiamat E, and you'll proc the Electrocute, guys. But you always want to try and save your E, because your E is a gap closer, right? And it does more damage the lower they are. So the lower you get them, off like a couple of autos and your clone, you know, proccing Duskblade and shit, you can save your E as like a gap closer and an execute. So you never want to use that early in your combo. Right? There are certain situations when you might have to, and I'll get into that in a later video maybe. But for now, we want to try and save our E as long as we can, but using our ultimate when the enemy target is isolated is the key. Now the other combo that we need to consider, and this is for mid-game, late game, you know, anything from 15, 20 minutes onwards or whatever, is saving our R. So the combo is pretty much exactly the same. Like you auto Tiamat, auto E. It's exactly the same. But we have our clone in one of them, and the other one we save it to dodge CC or to give us a bit of compensation if we fuck up. Yeah? But the only time that this should be used is if they're with their support. So if they're with like a, especially with a tanky to support, so if they're with like a Braum, a Thresh, someone with hard CC, we really need to be careful about getting hooked by them, getting knocked up, or anything like that. Alright? So, say they had, let me just put another thing down. Say that's the support there. Say that's a Alistar, right? So this support over here is an Alistar. I'm going to chuck a ward there so we see them both, because they'll be farming a creep wave, which will roughly be about here. Hopefully this video isn't too hard to follow, but yeah. So when we queue in here and we get behind this guy, we always want to get behind him to prop backstab. We're going to anticipate this Alistar's CC, and then we're going to R. Okay, so this is all about anticipation, guys. So whenever you see me dodging CC, it's not me being a fucking mechanical genius. It's just me simply anticipating when Alistar's going to, you know, WQ or combo me, or for any champion for that matter. So as soon as I'm queuing in here, I'm looking at this Alistar. I'm not even really looking at the AD. See the Alistar? Bang. We're going to R. Now, obviously, I can show you guys clips of me dodging shit. You guys have seen me on stream do it numerous times and have probably done it yourselves. It's not that hard. You just have to anticipate the CC or whatever ability you're trying to dodge and you'll be sweet. So, if they're isolated, you ult onto them. You get as much damage out as you can, as quickly as you can. So, maximize the DPS with your clone. But if there's a couple of them, maybe even in like a team fighting situation, using your R first is risky, especially when you're playing at a fucking high elo, because people will understand what you're trying to do, and maybe they have like lockets, maybe they have exhaust, maybe they have ninja tabis, and it's hard to assassinate someone. So all we're doing is going in, being a bit of a nuisance, dodging the CC with our R, just creating a bit of a fight, bit of a skirmish, and we're getting out and letting the team start to do their thing. So, two combos. The R, and they die instantly from that. And the old saving the R for the CC. So say that's an Alistar, you always want to try and put a box down as well, and then ulting off that CC. So that's pretty much it, guys. There's nothing too special about it. The combo is simple. Everything is simple here. I'd say the only hard thing to do is dodging CC when it comes. So if you can dodge the CC on Shaco, you'll find yourself not only just climbing, but getting out of situations with kills, with or without kills, it doesn't really matter. But you'll have a lot less deaths in your games, because most people will just like see an enemy champion go on and they'll just fucking press R for no apparent reason, and they won't dodge anything, and then the CC comes after that. You've always got to be wary of the CC and thinking to yourself, what will get me fucked here? What's going to really, you know, cost me a death here? And most of the time it is the CC, so always be ready for that. But those are the two combos. That's pretty much how we do it, guys, or how I do it anyway, what my thought process is. So as soon as I'm backing here and mid-game kind of hits, I'm thinking, where are they going to farm? So anticipation, who are we going to look for? Which probably comes before that. Where are we going to do it from and how? Or what combo are we going to use? And that depends on the situation. So it's all situational, but hopefully this, guys, has given you a clearer vision, and you guys can now envision how to do it and how to pull this shit off in rank. It's pretty simple. This was nothing too special, but that's how I go about doing it. If you guys like the video, of course, please give it a thumbs up. This shit does take a bit of time and a bit of effort, so yeah, a like, subscribe, or whatever else would be much appreciated. I will be streaming as well when this video goes up, so come check us out, guys. Come say hi to this rude head. And yeah, apart from that, we'll see you in the next vid, guys, and yeah, peace.